Nobody expected the woman who would crash Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's engagement celebration to be the one person who knew Travis long before he became half of America's favorite celebrity couple. And absolutely nobody expected that when Kayla Nicole stood up in the middle of their party and declared, "Stop, she doesn't really know you," Taylor Swift's response would be so devastatingly calm, so perfect, and so completely final that it would erase any doubt about who truly belonged in Travis's future. The rooftop terrace of the Four Seasons Hotel in Kansas City had been transformed into an elegant celebration space, glowing under warm string lights and decorated with white roses and gold accents. The gathering was intimate by celebrity standards, just family and close friends, all there to celebrate the couple who had captured the nation's heart. The night had been flawless. Jason Kelce gave a speech that made the whole room emotional as he talked about watching his younger brother find his person. Andrea Swift toasted Travis for making her daughter shine brighter than any spotlight. Donna Kelce embarrassed her son with stories about how he had been talking about marrying Taylor. Since their third date, Taylor looked radiant in a flowing champagne gown, her engagement ring sparkling every time she lifted her hand. Travis couldn't stop smiling, constantly reaching for her hand, her waist, the small of her back, like he still couldn't fully believe she had said yes. And then the elevator doors opened. A woman in a sleek black dress stepped out, walking with the confidence of someone who believed she belonged there. Kayla Nicole. The conversations didn't stop at first. Most people didn't recognize her, but Travis did. His face went pale. His hand on Taylor's waist went rigid. Taylor felt the tension instantly. "Travis, who is that?" she whispered, her eyes never leaving the approaching woman. Kayla Nicole, Travis's ex-girlfriend of two turbulent years, walked straight toward them with a smile that held no warmth. Their messy breakup was infamous, filled with social media drama and unresolved bitterness. Travis had told Taylor the broad strokes of the relationship, but not the darkest parts, the fights, the accusations, the manipulative behavior that had driven him to change his number twice. And now she was here. "Congratulations," Kayla said with a sugary tone that fooled no one. Conversations began to die as tension spread across the terrace. Jason stood. Donna moved closer. Guests exchanged uneasy glances. "What are you doing here?" Travis asked. Kayla's smile sharpened. "I couldn't miss your engagement party. After all, we have so much history." Taylor rose slowly, controlled and composed, the way she always handled conflict. "I'm Taylor," she said calmly, extending her hand. "I don't believe we've met." Kayla shook it, but her eyes were filled with challenge. "Oh, I know exactly who you are. The question is, do you know who he really is?" A soft gasp spread through the crowd. The stage was set. Everyone held their breath, and Taylor Swift was about to end the conversation before it ever truly began. Kayla's voice rose just enough for every guest to hear. "Before you celebrate this engagement, I think the bride-to-be should know a few things about the man she's planning to marry." The rooftop fell silent. Every fork, every glass, every whispered conversation froze. Taylor could feel Travis's panic vibrating through him, his fear that the past he'd tried so hard to bury was about to explode in front of everyone he loved. But instead of panicking, Taylor did something else. She straightened her posture. Her expression softened, but her eyes sharpened with unmistakable clarity. "You know what, Kayla?" Taylor said, her tone perfectly calm, almost gentle. "You're absolutely right. I should know exactly who I'm marrying." She turned to Travis, her engagement ring catching the warm terrace lights as she spoke. "I should know that I'm marrying a man who drives to Philadelphia at midnight when his brother is struggling, even if he has practiced the next morning." Her voice grew stronger with each sentence. "I should know that I'm marrying a man who built wheelchair ramps for elderly fans during his bye week and refused to let the team publicize it, because charity shouldn't be performed for applause." The guests began leaning forward, sensing something powerful unfolding. "I should know that I'm marrying a man who learns every one of my dancers' names and asks about their families. A man who cries during dog adoption commercials. A man who calls his mother every Sunday. A man who tips service workers double during the holidays. Kayla's confident facade began to crack, but Taylor continued, unwavering. I should know that I'm marrying someone who drove to 4 different stores when I had food poisoning, just to find the exact crackers my mom used to give me when I was sick. She stepped closer to Kayla, not aggressively, but with a quiet authority far more intimidating. And I should know that I'm marrying a man who has never once made me feel like I'm too much, too ambitious or too complicated. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Every word was a direct counter to Kayla's accusation, delivered with the elegance of someone who refused to be dragged into bitterness. And I should know, Taylor added, her voice softening but becoming even more powerful, that I'm marrying a man who has been completely honest with me about his past, including the parts that hurt, because he values trust more than protecting his ego. Gasps, stunned silence. Even the wind seemed to stop moving. Then Taylor gave a tiny, gracious nod. So thank you, Kayla, for the opportunity to remind myself and everyone here exactly who Travis Kelce is. I do know the man I'm going to marry. The silence that followed was thunderous. Kayla looked like she hadn't expected any of this. She had come to embarrass Taylor, to create chaos, to insert herself into a story that no longer included her. But Taylor's response had done the opposite. It had sealed the door shut. Now, Taylor said quietly, here's what I think you should know. She met Kayla's stare head-on, her voice turning to steel. Travis is with me by choice. He proposed to me, and the people who truly love him are here celebrating, not trying to sabotage his happiness. Behind her, Donna Kelce started clapping. Then Jason, then Kylie, then Andrea Swift. Within seconds, the entire rooftop erupted in applause. Kayla stood there, stunned, realizing she had miscalculated spectacularly. And Travis? He looked at Taylor like he'd never loved her more. The applause thundered across the rooftop, echoing off the city skyline. Guests stood cheering, raising their glasses, celebrating not just the engagement but the unquestionable unity between Taylor and Travis. Kayla was frozen in place, her confidence draining as fast as the room's support for her vanished. She had walked in expecting to find cracks. Instead, she had provided Taylor the perfect moment to show everyone how unshakable their relationship truly was. Travis stepped forward, his voice calm but absolute. I think you should leave now. Kayla's jaw tightened. She glanced around the terrace one last time, searching for even a single sympathetic face. There were none, only pity from some, irritation from others, and protective anger from the Kelce and Swift families. This isn't over, she said quietly, directing it at Travis, but loud enough for Taylor to hear. Double quotes. Yes, it is, Taylor replied, her tone final, unmovable. It's been over for 3 years. Tonight just made that official. Security, already on standby after a discreet signal from Travis during Taylor's speech, stepped forward and escorted Kayla to the elevator. The door slid shut with a soft chime like the closing of a chapter that had lingered too long. A hush settled for a moment. Then Taylor lifted her champagne glass with a bright, effortless smile. Well, she said lightly, I think we need another toast. Laughter erupted, relieved, joyful, unified. To the people who show up for love, she said, instead of trying to tear it down. The terrace burst into applause once more. Travis pulled Taylor into a kiss, deep and grateful, not caring that everyone was watching. I love you, he whispered against her lips. I love you so much it terrifies me sometimes. I love you too, Taylor whispered back, all of you. Past, present and future. The party continued with a completely new energy, lighter, warmer, stronger. Guests began sharing stories about Travis, each one a small piece of the mosaic that made him the man Taylor had just defended. Patrick Mans told how Travis bought Christmas gifts for underprivileged kids using his own money. Kylie Kelce described how he learned sign language just to talk to Wyatt's deaf classmate. Coach Reed shared how Travis stayed after practice to help a struggling rookie without anyone asking. Every story reinforced what Taylor had said. Travis Kelce was a man of character, compassion, and quiet goodness, and he was hers. Much later, after the last guests had said their goodbyes and the laughter had faded into the quiet hum of the Kansas City skyline, Travis and Taylor finally returned to their hotel suite. The champagne dress was still on Taylor, though her shoes were long gone. Travis's tie was undone, his shirt collar slightly wrinkled from the chaos of the night. But the moment the door closed behind them, a different silence settled gentler into mate. Honest, I'm sorry, Travis said immediately. It was the 5th time he'd apologized since they left the rooftop. I should have told you she might show up. I should have, Travis, Taylor interrupted softly, touching his arm. You can't prepare someone for crazy. And you can't control what other people do, only how you respond. She curled up beside him on the couch, her bare feet tucked under her, her engagement ring glowing under the soft lamplight. And honestly, she added with a playful smile, I've been wanting to give a speech about how amazing you are for months. She just gave me the perfect excuse. Travis laughed, pulling her closer. You destroyed her. Completely, in the most polite, devastating way possible. I didn't destroy her, Taylor corrected gently. I just told the truth about you, about us, about why what we have is unbreakable. But Travis didn't smile at that. He hesitated, looking down at their intertwined hands. Is it? He asked quietly. Unbreakable? Taylor blinked, thrown off. Are you seriously asking me that after tonight? After what I just said in front of everyone? He swallowed. Sometimes I still can't believe you chose me. Sometimes I worry you'll wake up one day and realize you could have anyone, and wonder why you settled for a football player from Ohio. Taylor cupped his face in both hands, making him look directly at her. Travis Kelce, she said, her voice low but fierce, listen to me very carefully. I didn't settle for you. I chose you. He frowned slightly. What's the difference? Settling, she explained, means accepting something less than what you want because you don't believe you can do better. Choosing means actively selecting someone because they are exactly what you want, exactly what fits you, exactly what makes you happy. She kissed him softly, lingering. I chose you because there is no better. Not for me. Travis's eyes began to shine, the emotion he'd been holding back all night finally breaking through. Taylor leaned against him, her head on his shoulder. With you, she continued, I get to be myself. All the versions of myself, the successful parts, the messy parts, the scared parts, the ambitious parts. Travis smiled. Even the parts that write songs about our private moments, he teased. Especially those parts, Taylor laughed. And the fact that you're proud of them when they become hits. That's how I know you're my person. They sat together for a long, quiet stretch, no drama, no audience, no past intruding. Just the man she chose and the woman he adored. What do you think she expected? Travis finally asked. I think she expected me to be intimidated, Taylor said. I think she thought I'd back down, or make a scene, or get jealous, and instead, Travis asked. She got a reminder, Taylor replied with a gentle but dangerous smile. That nobody messes with my people. You're terrifying when you're protecting someone, Travis said proudly. That's love. Taylor answered. Real love doesn't make you want to tear each other down. It makes you want to build each other up. She linked their fingers. Again, she came from ego and possession. I answered with love. That's why she lost. The next morning, the world had already seen what happened. Guests had recorded snippets of Taylor's speech, her calm power, her unwavering love, her flawless composure under pressure. By sunrise, clips were circulating across social media at lightning speed. Millions watched, millions commented, and the reaction was overwhelmingly clear. Taylor Swift had delivered a masterclass in grace under fire. Relationship experts praised her communication. Public figures reposted her words about love and choice. Fans called it one of the most iconic moments of her entire public life. But for Taylor and Travis, the impact went far beyond trending videos. What truly mattered were the quiet messages, pouring in from the people who knew Travis best. His high school coach wrote to say that Travis had visited him in the hospital. during cancer treatment, bringing cookies Donna baked and staying for hours just to keep him company. A former teammate reached out to share how Travis quietly paid for his daughter's surgery when insurance refused to cover it. Neighbors from his childhood town sent stories of him shoveling snow for elderly residents every winter without being asked. Each memory, each testimony, each private act of kindness painted the same picture Taylor had given the night before. Travis was a good man, an extraordinary one, and he always had been. And because of Taylor's public stand, people were finally saying it out loud. Meanwhile, Kayla Nicole remained silent. Sources close to her admitted she was shocked by how the night unfolded, by how badly she had misjudged the situation, by how completely the families united behind Taylor, and by how effortlessly Travis closed the door she had tried to reopen. Some wounds heal slowly, but some truths hit instantly. Kayla finally understood. Her chapter in Travis's life was over, fully, permanently, and without any room for return. But perhaps the most beautiful moment came privately. That evening, after the whirlwind of messages and calls, Travis handed Taylor an envelope, simple, white, unadorned. Inside was the first love letter he had ever written. His handwriting was rough, uneven, a little messy, just like him, but his words were steady, sincere, full of gratitude and vulnerability. "You didn't just defend me tonight," he wrote. "You showed me who I am through your eyes, and for the first time in my life, I'm proud of that person." Taylor pressed the letter to her heart. Then she kissed him with the softest, deepest tenderness of the entire engagement. "Travis," she whispered, "I didn't defend you because I had to. I defended you because I love you, every part of you." They stood by the window, watching the Kansas City lights glitter below them to people strengthened by a storm they hadn't expected, bonded tighter because of how they endured it together. It became a story told at family dinners, retold by friends, joked about by Jason, cherished by Andrea and Donna, not because of the drama Kayla tried to start, but because of how flawlessly Taylor finished it. And 2 months later, as Travis and Taylor planned their February wedding, that night remained a turning point, a reminder that their love wasn't just romantic. It was resilient, it was protective, it was chosen by both of them. Forever.